Hello guys, welcome back to PRK Learning. So here I am with a new topic of electricity, that is heating effect of electricity. Before that we learned about all what is electric current, what is potential difference, what is Ohm's law, what is resistance, what are the factors on which the resistance depends, and combination of resistance, series combination and parallel combination, right? These all the topics we discussed. What is resistivity we discussed. All the topics we discussed. Now we are at the last topic of the second last topic of this chapter, and that is nothing but the Joule's law, that is heating effect of electricity. So when we are passing the electric current through the wire, heat will generate in that wire. You know how? We will ask how the heat will generate when we are passing the electric current. If suppose you are keeping your mobile for some time, it is on charging, or your laptop on charging, what happen after some time? If you will go and if you will touch it, it will show that mobile, you will feel that mobile is heated, right? That laptop is heated. Why? How it happens? When you will use the electric appliances for longer periods of time, then also that they will get heated. Like TV, if suppose from longer time you are using that TV, if you will go and if you will touch that TV, that TV will become very hot. So why this happens? So we have to see how the heat generate first. Electrons are moving in the wire, we know that, right? Because of that motion of the electrons only we are getting the electric current. So when the electrons are moving, they will collide with the atoms. In the resistance topic we discussed this thing. This is called as resistance. This collision is called as resistance. And due to this collision, the heat will generate. Due to this collision, the heat will generate. Like suppose if you are walking in the market, so much crowd is there. So in that market, when you are walking in that crowded area, what will happen? You will start sweating, right? Why? Because heat is generating. Because some energy, the law of conservation of energy transfer from one form to another form. So when electrons are moving means they are in motion. And if anything is in motion means they will that object, that body will have a kinetic energy. Means when electrons are moving, they have a kinetic energy. Now when they will collide with the atom, like see, if this is a conductor, electron is moving in this direction. When electron is moving and when electron collide with this atom, electron is moving fast. When electron came here, electron collide with this atom. So when electron is here, that electron have a kinetic energy. As soon as electron collide on this atom, this energy will convert into another form of energy. And in which form of energy it will convert? It will convert into heat energy. So therefore heat generates. When it collide on the atom, heat generates. So right, so for how much time collision will be there, that will also decide the amount of heat, how much heat will generate, right? So the heat is generated due to collision, you understand, means due to resistance the heat is generating. Collision is what? When the electrons are colliding with the atom means what? There is a resistance. That concept we are calling the resistance. That means you understand the one thing, the heat is somewhere it is depends on the resistance. Heat is somewhere it depends on the resistance. Now heat is what? Heat is energy. And in this chapter, in electricity chapter, we didn't talk about any energy. Means heat energy, we didn't talk. But one energy form we talk. What is that? That is nothing but a work done. Work done word we use. Where we use? Work done word we used in the potential difference, right? Because what is the formula for potential difference? Formula for potential difference is V is equals to W by Q, where V is potential difference, W is work done and Q is charge. From here, can I write W is equals to V into Q? W is equals to V into Q. W is what? W is work done. Work done means what? Work done is energy. Work is energy. So here which energy we have? Heat energy we have. So this work done is nothing but the heat energy. H I am writing. Okay. This work done is nothing but the heat energy. So I can write H is equals to V into Q. H is equals to V into Q. Now first we learn I. What is the formula for I? In the starting of the chapter we learn I is equals to the current means what? The rate of flow of electric charges. Q by T. That means Q, if I have to calculate, how you will? Q is equals to I into T. Right? Q is equals to I into T. Means instead of this Q, I can put H is equals to V I T. This is the one formula for heat we got in this chapter. What we got? Heat energy is equals to potential difference into current into time. VIT first formula. From this formula, suppose this is I am giving first. Now, if voltage is given, current is given, time is given, you can calculate the heat. But suppose voltage is not given, resistance is given. How will you calculate? If voltage is not given, resistance is given. Like suppose V is equals to IR. V is equals to IR. From that R is equals to what? V by I. So just put the value of R instead of V. Right? What you will get? H is equals to, or instead of V, put the value of IR. What you will get? IR into IT. Right? IR into IT. So what you will get? I into I square. R into T, RT. I square RT you are getting. So this is the another formula you got from this chapter. V is equals to I square RT. Right? Now, here current we have, resistance we have, and time we have. What about if current is not given? Potential difference is given, resistance is given, and time is given. So instead of I is equals to, I can write V by R. Right? Because V is equals to IR. So I is equals to what? V by R. So put the value instead of I, put the V by R. What you will get? V by R square into RT. Right? V by R square into RT. Now what you will get? V square by R square into RT. This R square R cancel. So what you got? What you get here? V square by R into T. V square by R into T. Understand? So this is the another formula for heat energy. So these three formulas we got here. And this second formula. In this second formula, what you are saying? H is equals to I square RT. H is equals to I square RT. Means from that you can understand H is depends on electric current, H is depends on the resistance, H is depend on the time period, for how much time you are passing that electric current. Right? And this is only the Joule's law of heating. This is only the second equation only telling us the Joule's law of heating. What is that? Simple. The Joule's law of heating states that the heat energy or heat produced in the conductor is directly proportional to the square of the electric current. H is directly proportional to the resistance of the conductor, and H is directly proportional to the time period for which that current we are passing. Right? So this is the Joule's law. This is indicating the Joule's law. Joule's law said that the heat produced in the conductor is directly proportional to the square of the current, resistance of the conductor, and the time period of the time period for which the current is flowing. Okay, so that this is the statement of Joule's law. Got it? Now, means if you will see, if I will increase the resistance, heat energy will also increase. If I will increase the current, heat energy will increase. If I will increase the time period, heat energy will also increase. Right? Directly proportional there. So therefore, if you will see electric bulb, Electric bulb, you know, they are the application. Now I am telling you about the applications of Joule's law. Applications of heating effect of electric current. See, electric bulb. You know, electric bulb, not this LED, LCD, this not. Before we used to use the sodium lamp. In that sodium lamp, yellow color light will be there, right? In that, if you will see, there is a filament will be there inside the bulb. One filament will be there. So that filament of that bulb is made up of tungsten. That filament of the bulb is made up of tungsten. So what happened, you know, when you will pass the electric current, that filament will get heated and that produce so much of heat, and because of that, that light, that bulb will start glowing. Means in that case, heat energy is converting into the light energy. Right? So the filament of bulb is made up of tungsten. Why we are making the filament of, means if I will ask you, see here. Applications of Joule's law. Applications of Joule's law. First you can say electric bulb. Electric bulb. So electric bulb, the filament is made up of filament of bulb is made up of what? Tungsten. Why it is made up of tungsten? Because tungsten have very low melting, very high melting point. Very high melting point. Very high melting point. So what happened, you know, when the electric current, large amount of current is flowing, so large amount of heat will produce. So large amount of heat will produce, then also that tungsten will not melt, because the melting point of tungsten is 3380 degrees Celsius. 3380 degrees Celsius. So because tungsten have very high melting point, we are using the tungsten as a filament in the bulb. Right? So this is the one application of Joule's law. Second application of Joule's law is electric heater. Electric heater. Do you know electric heater? In electric heater you will see one coil will be there. That coil will start glowing. That coil will start like reddish hot, that coil will. Why? As soon as you start the means plug in and switch on the electric heater, it will give the large amount of heat, and that coil of that, it is made up of nichrome. It is made up of nichrome. Why? Because nichrome is a alloy. Nichrome is a alloy and it has a very high resistivity. Okay, therefore it can give you the more amount of heat. So because tungsten, if you will see the tungsten high melting point, we are using an electric bulb because it will not break, it will not melt. Electric heater, it is made up of, I told you what that coil is made up of. Coil is made up of nichrome wire. Nichrome. Okay, nichrome. It is made up of nichrome. Coil is made up of nichrome, and therefore it has a very it has a high resistivity, like more than the conductors and less than the insulators. The resistivity of nichrome or alloy. Nichrome is an alloy. The resistivity of the alloy will be more than the conductor and less than the insulators. Okay, and therefore we are using the nichrome here. So electric heater is another application of the Joule's law. Third, you can say it is a fuse. Electric fuse. Electric fuse. You know electric fuse, what we will do? Fuse, we will, nowadays we are using MCBs, but generally before we are using the fuse. What the fuse will do? In the fuse, one wire will be there. One wire will be there inside the fuse. That wire is also made up of one alloy. It is made up of copper and nickel alloy. Okay, so when the electric current will pass, more amount of electric current, and that alloy will have a very low melting point. Okay, very not, but it has a low melting point. Okay, So when the more amount of electric current will pass, so if when maximum means very large amount of electric current will pass through it, that because of low melting point, that wire will start melting, and that when the wire will start melting, that circuit is breaked. You know, when the main, where our mains is there, all the electric appliances when we are fitting in our home, like fridge, AC, TV, cooler, these all the things we are using inside our home, they, at the main circuit we are keeping one fuse, we are giving the connection of fuse also there. Why? Because when we are giving the connection of fuse, the electric current when passing through it, more amount of electric current will pass through it, so more amount of heat will produce. And if suppose more amount of electric current pass through it, that all our appliances will maybe damage or maybe break. Okay, so to avoid this we are using the fuse, because in the fuse one wire is there which is made up of copper and nickel alloy, and which has a low melting point. As soon as the large amount of current will pass through it, the heat will produce, more amount of heat will produce, and because of more amount of heat produced, that will melt, that wire will melt. And if that wire will melt, circuit break, and as soon as the circuit break, current won't flow through that circuit, means to your TV, to your AC, to your fridge, current won't flow, and therefore they are safe, and therefore they will be safe, right? So what you have to do then, you have to take the next fuse, new fuse, and then you will apply fit there the new fuse, and then again your appliances will start, right? So avoid this overheating, we are using the fuse, and therefore it is also the another application of Joule's law. So what is Joule's law? Joule's law is the heat produced inside the conductor is directly proportional to the square of the current, directly proportional to the resistance of the conductor, and directly proportional to the time period for which the current is flowing through the conductor. Right? H is equals to I square RT is the Joule's law. Right? And these are the applications of Joule's law: electric bulb, electric heater, electric fuse. I hope you understand this, and if you like it, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and we will meet in the next video with the next topic, that is electric power. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.